Hi, if you've landed on this video, it's because you currently or recently have gone through a divorce. And boy, are you in a pickle. It's a pretty tough time, isn't it? I get it. I've been there. I've also navigated a divorce and co-parented successfully, and I've done it for over a decade. Hi, I'm Pallas Athena, and I'm a certified life coach, and I'm going to help you learn some new healthy strategies to navigate your divorce in just 12 weeks. So in this video, you're going to get some high level facts about divorce. You're going to understand 5 stages of grief, what your life and lifestyle changes are. You're going to identify what the divorce reality that you're currently living in, what your best case scenario is. You're going to understand some stuff as far as me and who I am, what I do, what my program is, the results of that program, and how to get started. So first off, divorce is stressful. Okay, very stressful. It literally is a trauma. And it's also equated to a death because it's a death of your own identity. And that typically lasts from 6 months up to 2 years post-divorce. So as you go through it, you go through the 5 stages of grief, all right? And it doesn't even matter if your divorce was amicable, everybody goes through it. It's just that everybody goes through those phases at different points in time, and it also lasts differently depending on your situation. And at this point, what's really important is all about how do you navigate the new realities that you're faced with? And it's actually much more important than why your relationship is ending. I mean, that is important too, but understanding how to navigate it is really the key. Now, understand that being financially independent is a pretty scary thing for some people. Sometimes it's simply the physically being alone after not being alone for so long. That's a scary thing. It could be even that learning new life skills like budgeting or, dealing with household, chores or maybe contractors that you had to deal with that you've never had to deal with before. Those things can be stressful as well. So let's talk about the 5 stages of grief real quick. First off, you've got anger, denial, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And you may not go through those in that order, okay? Acceptance is the last one, but you may start off with denial, bargaining, and then go to anger, okay? So understand it's the same thing as far as a death, and you still have to go through them. Let's talk about your life and lifestyle changes. Now, we've talked about responsibilities. You may have your day-to-day stuff change, right? If you never did any of the housework before because your partner took care of it, now that's on you in your new home that you live in. You may have new life skills that you've got to learn. You find that your friends and your family dynamics change. You have people that are on your side and then people that are not on your side. You have people that you used to love, but because maybe they were on your partner's family, you end up realizing they have to kind of take their partner's side. And that can be tough as well. You also will find that in your friend circle, where you previously would maybe go out with other couples and do things, that starts to completely fall apart as well. And then you also find that your holiday traditions have to change as well, specifically if you've got children. Let's talk about the children. So it's not just you going through the divorce, it's them as well. And they have their own emotional ups and downs that you have to navigate on top of your emotional ups and downs. The other thing that you end up realizing is you have to see them less and you have to see your children at structured times. And that in itself can induce anger consistently, right? Having to give up your kids, having to then go to what I call silo parenting versus co-parenting, because when you're divorced, that really is what it is. You're silo parenting. And then lastly, what about your finances? Can you afford to live where you currently are? Are you going to have to go backwards in your lifestyle change? How does that make you feel? What if after 10, 20, 30 years, you've been living in a home and now you've got to go back and live in an apartment? That's going to make you feel a little salty, just saying. And so there's a whole lot of things that go into that as far as what does your new life look like and how does that change? So let's talk about which one is your current reality that you're in right now. So the first one is maybe your divorce is contentious and you've hired lawyers, there's money on the line, there's custody on the line, but you are trying to be the bigger person and you need some help with strategies in order for you to do that so that you can navigate your actual divorce proceedings. Okay. Situation number 2, maybe You haven't hired lawyers. Maybe it's completely amicable. The two of you are working things out logistically between the two of you. It's pretty fair. The anger's pretty much died between the two of you, and it's much more of a business, situation to navigate. However, you're still going through the 5 stages of grief and you need that emotional support. Or maybe you got situation 3, the co-parenting, silo parenting. Let me be clear. When you get divorced, you may be legally done with that relationship, but if you have children, you are not done. And it's a whole different ballgame. How do you navigate with somebody that you don't really want to see all the time now? Okay, it's tricky. It's very, very tricky. What do you say? What do you say to your children? What do you not say to your children? How do you navigate when your children doesn't want to go to the other person? These are all very things that happen to people. They've happened even to me. So the other one is co-parenting. The fourth one is you're simply sitting in a space going, oh my gosh, my entire identity was wrapped up in what I thought was supposed to be my forever life. And now that forever life has completely imploded, and that is not my reality now. And you don't know really what your future looks like. You don't really know where to go, what to do, what to hope for, what to want. And you need help navigating to pull you out of that kind of depressive state. So let's talk about best case scenario. First off, I'm always of the opinion when you're navigating this, especially when there's children involved, that you want to be able to look back in your life and say, you know what? I navigated that the best way I could at the time, and I'm proud of how I behaved. I'm proud of the steps I took. I'm proud of, the things I said, the things I did not do, etc. And that's really where you want to be. Okay. The next thing is you really want to be able to co-parent calmly. And you also are going to have to learn to enforce new boundaries in your life when needed and be able to do so without getting upset. And co-parenting calmly can be a tricky thing, right? The next thing is you need to move through your emotions in a mentally healthy way. Instead of being angry and sad, you want to feel confident and empowered about being able to navigate this new future that is right in front of you. So, there's other things like overcoming fear about responsibilities, fear of being alone, fear of what the future is, all of those things, and then being prepared to manage life on your own. So why do I do what I do? Well, I have, like I said, been divorced. I have a child. I'm a single mom, and I actually have been navigating this for a long time. I also am a certified life coach and a hypnotherapist, and I've been helping people navigate difficult situations in their life and life transitions for several years. So I can tell you that if you want to navigate this from a healthy place and you want to be able to move through it and move through it faster than 2 years, because let's get real. Do you really want to be in a place of anger and frustration for 2 years? I don't think so, right? So for me, I started putting together a plan specifically for people going through divorce so that they can move beyond that pain and they could also learn new strategies and coping mechanisms so that they could confidently navigate their new reality, okay? Now, you might be wondering, don't you need to go to a therapist for this? Actually, you don't. So let's talk about talk therapy versus life coaching. So traditional talk therapy with a psychotherapist, psychiatrist really is about digging into your past life and figuring out all the nuances and the bad things that happen in your life and why, and coming to terms with them. But life coaching is all about meeting you where you are today in the now and figuring out how do we get you on the right path for the future and making sure that you meet the goals that you want to set for your future and being support and accountability in that process for you. So my coaching program, first of all, it's one-on-one. It's all remote, so it doesn't matter where you are. Change happens in the mind, not the office. You will get 8 weekly personalized 1-hour coaching sessions with me. They are video calls. After that, we do 4 half-hour progress sessions. Those can be either on phone or video. There will be weekly goals that will help you move through this process and weekly activities as well, all things that we discuss together and conclude together. And then there's email support in between sessions needed. So perks of my program, besides everything is awesome at the end. No, really, but you gain clarity on how to make changes, and you get personal support and accountability, which, to be honest, when you're going through a divorce, there's only so many times that you can ring your mom or your sister or your best friends and, complain or figure out, what do you need to do? And sometimes you feel really alone. So that support and accountability is actually really big for helping getting you through some of these stages of grief. You also learn to acquire new tools and how to implement them in your life so they don't feel so scary anymore. And I also want you to know this is a confidential, safe space of no judgment. And you're going to start seeing those payoffs in only 12 weeks. So you will be proud of yourself in the end. You will also have reduced anxiety, anger, depression. And instead, your happiness is going to go up, your positivity and your contentment, just as far as where you are in life and where you're going. You end up finding yourself pretty centered, and you're confident about that future life and embracing those future possibilities. So if you're still watching this and you are a man or woman over the age of 30, currently or recently divorced, are on a path of self-improvement, and you do want tools to navigate your new life path and support and guidance, then book a free 15-minute call with me and touch base. You can reach me at 720-404-5656, or you can book online at my website, talktopallas.com. Thanks, and I hope that your path ends up being a good one.